You might be wondering, why is it that Chisgule hasn't uploaded a video in like 4 days? And yeah, that's actually a very long time for me. I like to do daily videos. Don't worry, I'm not quitting Squad Busters, and I haven't quit, at least not yet. And that's something that I want to talk about in this video. The state that Squad Busters is in, and also what I think it needs to be the game that it could be. But before I do, where was I for the last couple days? Well, on my other channel, I've got 241,000 subscribers. I've talked about that in the past, and I cover city building war games. And a part of the reason I started playing Squad Busters is because city building war games are all about planning and preparation, and there's very little action. But when there is action, it is nonstop, 24/7, thousands of players battling for territory with your alliances, with incredibly high stakes, where people have thousands of dollars worth of stuff on the line. And I blasted through probably permanent loss of like $3,000 to $5,000 worth of stuff, which sounds insane, but like speed ups, resources, etc. to buy all this stuff back is very expensive. But this is what the game is. So you like collect and accumulate and build community for months at a time, and then you battle your kingdom versus others. And you know, the map had like, it's like 8 kingdoms, and it's just crazy, bro. So for the 3 or so days that I've been missing, that's what I've been doing. And we did win, by the way, which is really cool because, you know, the folks on the other end that we beat were mocking me personally because I'm a YouTuber. And so, you know, there's people that just like to mock other people because they're YouTubers, and it just is what it is. I don't know, man. People just like to be haters. So we absolutely stomped them, and yeah, no, their pride is hurt because they were super egotistical, and they could have won, but they actually, hey, look, learn to play. That's all I'm going to say. So anyways, we got this fat win, absolutely amazing, and that's what I've been doing. Very little sleep. It's hard to understand like the sacrifices people make playing literally like 16 hours a day, but that's what it takes in these city building war games. That's part of what makes it fun. But a part of the reason I started playing Squad Busters is it's because it's just the complete opposite of that, okay? Squad Busters is all action, very little thinking, very little planning, very little reflection time, very little focus on collection at all. Like you queue up, you play your game, and then it's over, and then you can do it all over again. And when I initially started playing Squad Busters, I mean, I can see why the developers released it in the state they released it in, because after just a few games, it's very, 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 very addictive. I don't know if it's just the really awesome sound effects that kind of sound like a slot machine, not gonna lie, that like get you hooked really quickly, right? Like you hear the coins, you hear the like bung, 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 bung when you're busting a squad, and it's like, dude, it's like you just hit a jackpot on a slot machine. Now, I don't play slot machines, and I don't like gambling, but the point I'm trying to make here is that the game hooks you fast. And so I get why the developers released it in the state that they did, but it's missing things. And I used to work in software development, and I used to be a product manager. And what I'll say about this is that when I would coach people on what to build, okay, what software do you build? You need to think about complete slices of cake. We can't make the entire cake all at once. Maybe not the best metaphor because, okay, you bake a cake all at once. But like when you're writing code, you release features and you build things incrementally. And like, what are the things you build? And a complete slice of cake is satisfying to eat. Like imagine if you got served a cake that didn't have any icing at all. You'd be like, wait, like what have you given me? Like you've like, the cake came out of the oven, but like you didn't do anything to it. Or imagine you were just given icing. You'd be like, hey, what, no, this isn't complete. I don't want this dessert, right? This game is just icing. And what it's missing, in my opinion, to be a complete slice is community and purpose. And let me explain. There's no purpose in this game other than your own internal motivation for playing the game. And I really have enjoyed that for a long time. But like, there's nothing to collect. There's no overflow progression system once you're in the end game. And quite literally, you need to buy things you don't need to gain rank again, to become a squad league player again, which was a title you already had but was taken away from you, which feels bad, by the way, only to then push rank, which gives you nothing at all for having done so. Which, like, when you say all that out loud, it's like, how is that the end game here? But that's the Squad Busters end game. Now, most people aren't there. They're still collecting stuff, but even the collection of stuff, I think most people would agree, and I don't think I'm being unfair, that like the upgrade process feels really slow, right? Like it feels like you get to 3-star and then 4-star just feels like an unreasonable eternity and you're just kind of getting nothing. Like you've gotten things, but you've really gotten nothing, it feels like, as you work your way toward that, you know, ultra tier. So the purpose is missing, okay? And a part of that purpose, I think, ought to be coming from community, which is also missing in the game. I mean, I don't know how much you really should be able to talk to other people in this game, because how much trash talking is there going to be, right? But what I will point out is that this is like the only game I've played without some kind of community. You don't have an alliance or clan that you're playing with. You don't have any team-based gameplay. There's no reason to play that expands beyond you, which I think is a huge thing to be missing. Like, for perspective, and I'm not trying to pitch Rise of Kingdoms because this is just the game that I happen to play on my other channel, but like, you form such a bond with people there that literally any time of day or night, I could say, hey, I need to talk to someone on voice, and it could be about like real life serious stuff, and within a minute, I'd be on voice with somebody from the community that I play with. And then that's not just because, oh, I'm a content creator. That's because these communities are extremely rich and dynamic, and that is the nature of those communities. And like, okay, in a city building war game, it's a little different. Like, it's like constant 24/7 hardcore gaming where like your city can be attacked and you permanently lose stuff. So you really count on your community and you form bonds because you are actually depending on each other to protect each other's stuff. And most of the time your stuff's not really in jeopardy because you're a part of a stable community. But all that to say, like, the community element is massive and it's missing from this game. So I think with a few things, this game really levels up profoundly. And my hope is that we get these things soon. I don't know what the developers are cooking up, but I trust that it's big. Because as I mentioned in a prior video, Supercell as a company is one of the only games I've known to make a game more popular than when it launched. And let me explain. I don't have all that much data to work with about the popularity of a game as a YouTuber. I can look at the App Store rank. I can look at you know, people's comments about the game. But the big thing I tend to look at is something called Google Trends. And Google Trends basically tells you how much people are searching for a specific game or term. And the main game that I play is Rise of Kingdoms. That's on my other channel. And I compare like Rise of Kingdoms to Squad Busters. And right now, Squad Busters is half of what Rise of Kingdoms is, which is alarming because, you know, as a YouTuber, I think, and this is something I do full time, by the way. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I've tried to record this a couple times and then stopped and started and re-recorded. But like, I kind of don't get to just play games for fun. Like, it needs to be super fun and it needs to be getting views. Otherwise, like, I can't continue to be a full-time YouTuber. I need to go do something else. That's a hobby, not a job. And, you know, woe is you, Chisgule, the YouTuber. You can't play what you want. But the point I'm trying to make is, if Squad Busters isn't getting views, and I'm not a super creator, and there's not sponsorship, like, I gotta go find what works, you know? And my goal when I started playing this game is, like, I definitely want to be a super creator, and, like, I'm so amped up, and I do hope that that is a thing that will happen. But there are some realities that I will have to look at. If this game does not get more popular, how much time do I continue to commit to making Squad Busters content? And it's like, it's just a reality of what I've got to look at as someone who wants to keep doing YouTube full time. And, you know, there's a couple other things on the horizon for me that are really exciting. One, as I mentioned, was that Age of Empires Mobile, you know, and like, hey, I played Age of Empires as a kid. It's so badass. But Age of Empires, they're making a mobile game, and it's a city building war game, which is squarely the genre of my other channel. That's going live in October, and I am almost certainly going to make a group for that. And I'm, you know, hoping there'll be some collaborations with the makers of the game. And like, yeah, they flew me out to Gamescom, so I'm like very hopeful that that's a thing that's going to happen. But also, you know, like, I was just, you know, playing another game that's in the city building war game genre just to kind of see what's out there, and I connected with some community managers for that game. And I'm sort of hoping something can cook up there too, although who knows. But the sort of point I'm trying to make is that I'm going to have some fierce prioritization to do coming up soon. And I don't want to quit Squad Busters, but if the game doesn't get certain elements that it needs to shoot back up in popularity, then that's a very real thing that I gotta be not just thinking about, but actually like shifting the way that I spend my time, which kind of sucks. And I feel like I've done a lot of the things that I can do to optimize for my time. I've got an editor that I work with. They do a great job. Maybe I could get help with thumbnails, and maybe I should hire somebody to help me with thumbnails, and that would free up a little bit of my time and would probably get a better result. That's a thing I probably should do. But yeah, like I don't know. I'm open to your thoughts. What do you think the game needs? Where is it headed? I think I've got a lot of faith in the makers of Squad Busters and Supercell. And I just hope they get there, man. I hope they get there and that it's soon. Because yeah, like, I think, you know, once other games are launching, I definitely will be making videos less frequently as I cover those games, just to see what those can become. And it is kind of wild to think that like most games ultimately are not successful. Ooh, dude, I am cooking this guy. Although one of those I Need Space is definitely a bot, and maybe also Garfield. Dude is cooked. Holy. Wow. Dude, Battle Healer Fusion's nice. I should take, yeah, there's the BK. These games, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but I, you know, played 3 games. This was right after we had won Kingsland. I was like, I gotta make a Squad Busters video. And I was deciding, you know, like, it was, I don't know, 10:30 at night. I was like, do I record this video or do I spend a little bit of time with family? I mean, mostly, you know, my wife, and long story short, we're at our in-laws' place where we have work done at our house. And I was like, man, I'm just going to spend time with family right now. But what I've been doing is that I've been like, you know, staying up late, burning the candle at both ends to make sure that videos go live on my main channel, and also the Squad Busters channel. I'm like, I just got to think about, is that what I keep doing? Especially if I'm covering other games. I don't know, man. This was maybe a little rambly, but hopefully it lets you know kind of what's going on and what I'm up to and what I'm thinking. I'd like to do more Squad Busters content. Definitely let me know your ideas for videos down below in the comments. I'll be looking for more ideas. And I am looking forward to also having more time now that Kingsland is over. Maybe I'll just get back into the swing of things. It'll be business as usual, and we get some banger of an update, and boom, we're off to the races. I hope to see it. Your thoughts in the comments. And if you're looking for my last Squad Busters video, the one I did before this one, oh, it must have been about, yeah, Spooky Trader. Card will be over here. Be sure to get your Spooky Trader. It's pretty sick. Honestly, that's one of the things I think Supercell does incredibly well, is all these people were thanking me for giving them Spooky Trader. And like, dude, Supercell gave me the code, and like I didn't give you the thing, but people thanked me. It was like, that is such a feel good. Supercell does, I think, the release of information, like teasers, and does some of their community stuff outside of the game community stuff better than anybody else. They do a great job. Anyways, it's just, as a content creator, that's such a feel good when I get like hundreds of thank yous. That was cool, man. That was really cool. Card over here. Check it out.